Hi lovely people out there. Today is a nice sunny day, so I thought why not bring to the table something different. So therefore I thought of a nice refreshing and very light refreshing sangria. Therefore we're going to tweak our recipe a little bit and we're going to have and use the help of our lovely watermelon that I handily picked at the supermarket. Now in order for you to pick the right watermelon, you would need to identify a couple of characteristics of the watermelon. Now when you see this yellowish bottom, okay, it means that the watermelon has been sitting there for quite a bit. So that means it's the right watermelon. Now another characteristic will be, now when you tap into the watermelon and you hear that little echo sound, that means that's the right watermelon as well, since it's very difficult to identify the right taste. Those two characteristics are going to help you out in order to identify what will be the right watermelon for you. Okay, so we're just going to place it here on top of our chopping board and we're going to chop the bottom, okay, slightly, okay, in order to make sure that we're able, just by cutting the bottom, that we'll be able to stand our watermelon and it won't move. Okay, so now we chop that part off. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to chop the top off. Now we're going to chop, I would say, a little bit more than what we have actually chopped the bottom. So in order to have a bucket and a lid, okay, that's how we're going to actually divide our watermelon. Okay, so I will think that right there it's okay. Perfect. Okay, so now we've got our lid right there. Okay, you might be asking yourselves now, how are we actually going to carve into the watermelon? Now, very easy. That's why I'm actually using a bread knife, okay, because it's nice and long and it has that flexibility as well. Okay, so in order to carve in, you see how deep it is? We're going to go all around our watermelon, okay, like this. And also you get to see how we're going to carve into it. All around the edge. Okay? All around that lovely watermelon. It's going to be so much fun, I'm telling you. You do this once, you see the flexibility, okay, of the knife that's able and allow us to go deep into the watermelon. Now obviously you're going to cut right there in the middle. You're going to make like a little cross right there. Okay, so in order, it's going to help you out to pull what you have in it. Okay, okay, so there you go. With the help of a knife right here, with this you might be able to pull it. Okay, you see right there. Okay, so now as far as you can see is that I was able to take all these nice chunks of watermelon from the inside. Now as you can see it's not perfectly carved, so now with the use of a spoon you could take from the edges, okay, and carve into it in order to get rid of all that pulp and to make more room as well, okay, in order to fit more sangria in it as well. Okay, now you can see how it's perfectly carved. Now what have I done with all the watermelon that was inside? Now I have it all here, okay, and what we're going to do is that we're going to throw it in the blender where we're gonna blend, and all that juice is what we're going to mix with the sangria that we're going to prepare. Okay, is already done. Okay, that is going to be part of our mix. Okay, now with the other bits and pieces that we have here left, what we're going to do is we're going to chop them, okay, in strips like this. Okay, and this will be for our final decoration. Okay, nice bits and pieces like that. Okay, now let's put this aside, and I'm just going to show you what I've done with the fruits. Normally for sangria, what I use is oranges and apples. So nice green apple and oranges that I have actually chopped the apples in squares, and then very thinly the oranges. Now I throw in a little 4 tablespoons of sugar on top, leave it there on a side, room temperature for about a good hour or so. So then it just has a natural simple syrup that creates by throwing the juices of their own fruit. Okay, now what we're going to do, now let's put this back in here, okay, and this is basically our last step. We're going to throw all the liqueur as well with the fruits. Okay, so now we're going to throw in the fruits already with all that sugar that had already in it. Okay, triple sec, we use triple sec here, and we're going to use as much as here where I put my finger. This is a liter bottle, so we're talking about almost 200 milliliters, okay, that we're going to throw in. Okay, that's pretty good. Now we have peach schnapps. For the original recipe of sangria, they use peaches, okay, whole peaches chopped up in little squares, and they throw it in there. But I don't like that, so I'd rather use peach schnapps for it, so at least it gives the peach flavour to it. Okay, the same again for about 200 milliliters. I'm going to throw in there. Okay, and this sangria is looking lovely. Now, you need the most important part, that will be the wine. Now, for the wine, don't get a very expensive wine. You could do perhaps with a nice Tempranillo, which is a young wine, nothing too strong, nothing too expensive. Okay, so I would throw that. What I have is the Antaño, okay, 2010 Tempranillo from Rioja. Okay, I'm gonna throw that all that in there. And now it has a lovely colour, okay, and this is basically what we're looking for, okay. Now, let's not forget the orange juice. I have squeezed 6 orange juices. Perhaps you don't have to use it all, okay. Like that is fine, because let's not forget that we're going to use watermelon as well, okay. And we're going to throw in some of the pulp. You see how it's all coming to the top. Perfect. And it's looking great. Excellent. Now, I'm sure that after drinking this, you get a little cocoa mango kind of twist in your head. But I'll tell you, this sangria, you're going to leave it overnight for a good couple of hours in the fridge, so it gets that nice temperature. Okay. Perfectly, you know, great colour, all the fruits, all the flavour in it. Now, this will be our presentation. Now, this is what you can do. Just store it in the fridge like this. You put the lid on it. This is how you're going to present it outside. Boom, off you go. Now, for our presentation, this is what I use. I use just a regular glass, okay, wine glass. Don't forget your umbrella straw. That's really going to make a hell of a difference, I guess. Okay. You're going to throw in there some fruits. Okay, look how, get me some juice in there. Look at that, all the pulp makes it a lot thicker. Okay, not all the way to the top. Remember we had chopped some of the watermelons here, so you could throw in one in there, one perhaps a little bit bigger. Okay, chop a little bit, one that's a little bit bigger there, the straw, and you're ready to drink a nice lovely sangria by the pool, listening to a little or whatever music you will love to listen and drink and enjoy responsibly a nice sangria. Cheers. Delicious.